Okay, we're gonna get into some Ramones records, Dead Boys, and the Cramps, and maybe a few more if time allows. All right, Ramones fans often say that this thing is pretty out of sight. It's a pretty good Ramones record. Too Tough to Die. They dig it. And it, from what I've read, never gets a bad review. I wouldn't give it one. Now, here's an LP. Let's take this out. That does get bad reviews every once in a while. The Pleasant Dreams record. And it's because of the production. Songs are decent enough, but the Graham Goldman dude that produced this thing made it soft and sparkle like. If that makes any sense. It's soft and it sparkles for the radio. And it just doesn't cut it. Yeah, that's the way you would describe this thing. Production just doesn't cut it. Okay, and here is the same record with just a different cover, and it's from Russia, so it looks like this. Sounds exactly the same as the one I just showed you, just looks different. It's for variety purposes. All right, this next record is the reason that I'm showing you those two, or that I showed you those two. This is the Ramones Pleasant Demos. It has mostly the same songs as this, although there are 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5. There's 5 songs on this thing that aren't on this one. And these are the Pleasant Dreams songs before the Graham Goldman dude got a hold of them. And the reason why I showed this is because this really sounds like the Too Tough to Die record as far as the production. So, if you would like to love this as much as you love this, pick up this. Wow, that's a lot of thises. This thing's really good. The extra songs on it are, well, 2 of them are, let's look at this thing. The Durango 95 on this comes from Sleeping Troubles and I think I can't remember the other song. They're Not Really Me. I think Sleeping Troubles and They're Not Really Me. And maybe Baby Say You Beg, with a strange name for a song. Anyway, definitely you can tell the Durango 95 on Too Tough to Die came from the outtake songs from this unmessed with session of Pleasant Dreams by the Ramones. Here's what the album looks like. All right, let's move into the Dead Boys. And, wow, there's something on this record. Probably a bug. Anyway, this is the Dead Boys, Third Generation Nation. And it's very similar to the Ramones Pleasant Demos because it is the We Have Come for Your Children premix. And it says right here on the back that the premix is preferred by Cheetah Chrome, which he was a member of the Dead Boys. And then somebody else got a hold of it at Warner Brothers Records and decided to remix it and make it nice. And I guess it didn't come out satisfactory to the band nor the fans, although I've never heard it. We Have Come for Your Children record. I have no idea what that sounds like. I've only got the first Dead Boys record, but I got this, and it says here on the back that this is the We Come for Your Children record, but it's unmessed with, and it's really good. Don't be afraid to pick it up. All right, let's get into the Cramps. Well, this isn't the Cramps. This is the Radio Cramps, the Purple Knife Show, Hollywood, California, Master of Ceremonies, Lux Interior. And this thing is Lux Interior doing a little radio program with records that he probably brought from home. And that thing is great. It is the most entertaining listen I've come across in a really long time. Lux Interior of the Cramps, just playing his favorite records. Even plays the theme to the original Blob movie. And let's see the very first song on here by the One Way Streets from Ohio, Jack the Ripper. That song's funny. There's a version of Louie Louie on here by the Swamp Rats from Pittsburgh that's out of control. Oh My Lady by J.J. Jackson and the Jackals. That's a great one. They're all great. Deluxe Interior in between the songs. Well, in between some of the songs. He does his Deluxe Interior sound effects with, saying things and making noises into the mic, which makes it really entertaining to go through all four sides of this. Monster Surfing Time, that one's okay, it's not the best. It plays the Addams Family theme. Take Me to Your Leader is great. That's by Jams, Pace, and the Cadets. Turkey Neck Stretch by Grady O'Neill and the Bellatones. Wow, that's really good. Plays the theme to Dragnet. And yeah, if you see this thing, definitely pick it up. It's Lux Interior playing his favorite records on the air. And you can imagine what that would be like. Okay, here's another record by the fabulous Cramps. This is Tales from the Cramps. And this is volume 2. And side 1 of this thing is just really early recordings of the band, and it's not that entertaining until you get to side 2. Side 2 is a completely different monster. Side 2 is really good. It's got Bacon Fat, What's Inside a Girl, You'll Never Change Me, all the songs you know, just in a way that I've never heard in all of my Cramps bootleg records. So, if you see this one, Tales of the Cramps, I guess you'd call it the pink copy, throw on side 2 first. It's really good. Side 1 is... Anyway, and here's what the album looks like. Ooh, no, it's not scary, like the cover. Okay, and that's it for this video. I'm gonna end this with a really good record, but it's a record with a huge problem. Maybe I'll end it with 2. This is Doug Stanhope. No Place Like Home. This is a stand-up comedian record that is just brilliant. I think it was recorded in Bisbee, Arizona. Here's the album. And this is also the problem. This thing is well over an hour long. And the Comedy Dynamics record label crammed over an hour onto one record. So guess what? You can barely hear it. You got to turn it up a lot to hear it. That's a huge problem, because once you turn something up so far, at least on my stereo, I start to get a little bit of feedback. So you're going to hear a little bit of feedback if you're able to obtain this thing. It's kind of hard to get. And the stand-up comedy on that is so good, you'll forget the fact that the grooves are the grooves. There's only one groove in a record. The groove is so lightly in there so that they wouldn't have to make it a double LP that you can barely hear it unless you turn it way up. After you do that, man, that thing's good. Doug Stanhope is very, very funny. I went and seen him, and I'm a Doug Stanhope fan now, and this is his record album. He's got other ones. I can't afford to get them. The resellers, they want to try and make a car payment on one record. Whatever. All right, let's just keep rocking. One more record. This is the Sick Fucks, and they're in that movie Alone in the Dark with Donald Pleasant. It says right here, in memory of John Belushi and Lester Bangs. And this thing is just, it's like a little EP. But the song Chop Up Your Mother and Rock or Die make this thing worth buying. It's kind of goofy, punk rock, very early 80s, maybe even 1979 when these guys got together. Well, guys and two girls. Anyway, if you see this thing and they don't want too much money for it, pick it up just for the Chop Up Your Mother and Rock or Die songs. Those two make it well worth it. They're funny. Oh, one more. Wow, this is never ending. I just picked up this Merry Monday 7-inch. It's got I Gave My Punk Jacket to Ricky and Pop Gun. Both songs really good. That's the end of this video.